good YouTuber? Phones is back in the house. Yo, I'm trying not to be loud, too loud right now because I kind of got told to be quiet. But right now we're watching Why the Police Can't Stop Swimmers. I can't lie, it looked like an interesting video. You get me? So I'm gonna watch your stream. Anyways, let's get straight into it.
Through your feed and seen those insane videos, cars weaving through traffic like they're playing a real-life video game. We're talking about the cutting up in traffic trend that's absolutely blowing up recently, with names like Squeeze Benz and License.
Yeah, I saw a while ago though that Squeeze guy got arrested. There, you get me? So, but he got that free. So I don't know what's going on there.
Becoming almost legendary. These guys have some serious driving skills, no doubt. But let's be
Don't ask you how you're back again. I'm gonna ask you how you're back again. How are you back again?
real. They're also dicing with danger, risking not just their own lives, but everyone else's on the road for those.
Oh, I remember seeing this clip. Yeah, that's why. Listen, that's why you don't drive like this. I advise anyone in my stream watching not to drive like this. This is what ends up happening in most cases.
Insane clips. So the big question everyone's asking is, why aren't these guys behind bars already? And how on earth do they always get to drive these expensive cars?
Huh?
I mean,
I think the cars, like, I remember seeing some videos on this before. I think the cars are most of the time they're rentals. Like, some are owned, but most of the time they're rentals with fake plates.
this is the USA, right? Land of traffic cameras on every corner and cops seemingly everywhere. How do these swimmers, as they call themselves,
Like, I can't like that. Like, the process, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, because I haven't seen this video, but I assume he's gonna dive into it. They have fake plates. I'm half falling asleep. I can't. What's that? Because they're me or he's tired. They have fake plates. Rental cars. You know, so they switch up the cars. They wear like baddies and stuff, so you can't even see the face. And then and then on top of that, they've got like a private like spot where they go to hide the cars and swap cars. You get me when they go.
manage to pull off these runs day after day without getting caught? Let's break it down together in today's video. But first, make sure to leave a like
You're just tired. Might just be my voice.
and subscribe to this channel for more videos covering the most famous swimmers. But before we dive into the tricks these swimmers use to evade getting caught, let's take a look at what law enforcement can do to track these guys down, and why it's not as easy as it may seem.
Yeah, I swear they do it like New York mostly. Like, bro, New York. Hear me out the drive. I ain't hearing you out, bro. That's literally, they don't even have their face showing. Yo, what was I gonna say? Nah, that's actually distracting me now. Oh my god. Yeah, I swear in New York there's cameras everywhere. You know what? I ain't trying to hate. You know what a Squeeze Benz looks like? Squeeze Benz face. That's his real face.
First, let's talk about the perception of surveillance.
How
Yeah,
no?
the US has a lot of cameras, but are they really the all-seeing eye that can track?
Am I seeing right? Did that car just go into the side of that bus?
Yeah, the US has a lot of cameras,
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you run one red. Don't do it.
but are they really the all-seeing eye that can track a specific car doing 100, weaving through 5 lanes of rush hour traffic and follow it all the way home? The reality
It's like you be the type of people, you be in the car with them, and you're just sat there going, you know, like, I mean, you get used to it after a while, but, you know, I'd advise against it.
is a bit more complex. Think about it. Traffic cameras are often focused on intersections for red light violations or monitoring general traffic flow. The resolution might not always be high enough to clearly identify.
I hear it, because they can't just, like, unless they've got intel, they can't just, like, pick up someone swimming, you get me, because it just looks like someone changing lanes, really, to the cameras.
A license plate,
I think it's near misses.
especially at high speeds or in bad weather.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, man.
Plus, the sheer volume of traffic in major metropolitan areas makes it like finding a needle in a haystack for law enforcement to manually track a single vehicle in real time through this network. But what about general police presence, you might ask? While you might see patrol cars, the resources needed to dedicate officers to specifically monitor for and pursue.
Yeah, the thing is though, most of the time they don't bother chasing because of the accidents it could actually cause, you get me? Because if they give chase, and they get into an accident, they're liable, aren't they? Because they were given chase in the first place.
These high-speed traffic violators across a sprawling city are immense. Police departments have to prioritize calls based on severity, and while cutting up is dangerous, it might not always be the top priority in a city dealing with more immediate threats. Furthermore, the very nature of the offense makes it difficult to address. Cutting up is often a short burst of intense activity. These drivers might engage in the dangerous behavior for a few minutes
Oh, I hear it. Do it for a few minutes, get on cam, and then just blend in.
to get their footage, and then quickly blend back into normal traffic or
Got all up here.
disappear altogether.
Slow. So we're good. Let's look and get off at this exit. Did we lose the cops? Let's get off at this exit.
This hit-and-run style makes it incredibly challenging for law enforcement to react in time to intercept them. Even if a report
Undercover.
comes in, the individual could be miles away or have already switched vehicles by the time officers arrive in the area. So, we touched on the
Bro, he really thought that would work. He just cut in front of him like he can't just reverse.
sheer difficulty of tracking these guys. But let's dig a little deeper into what law enforcement is actually up against when they do spot someone pulling these driving maneuvers. It's not as simple as just flipping
If they crash though, they're cooked. They're so cooked that they crash.
on the lights and sirens and giving chase. There are a lot of factors that come into play.
No, there's no way there's people out here doing this. He's beeping at the officer. Oh,
And police
God.
work in these situations is governed by strict protocols designed to protect everyone, not just the officers involved. One of the biggest hurdles are our strict departmental guidelines. Many police departments in the US have very clear rules about engaging in high-speed pursuits, especially for non-violent offenses like reckless driving. The risk of a high-speed chase causing an accident that injures or kills innocent bystanders is a major concern. Departments often prohibit risky maneuvers like intentionally bumping or ramming a suspect vehicle at high speeds unless there's an imminent threat of serious harm to others. This means officers can't always just force these swimmers off the road, even if they
If this is ranked, then I'm dropping at least a 50 point.
have the opportunity. And perhaps the most critical element is the constant risk assessment that officers have to perform in real time. Even if a police
Yeah, word. There must be a lot of thinking involved because you're thinking, am I going to give chase and potentially harm someone? You got to think of everything.
officer witnesses someone swimming through traffic live, they have to immediately weigh the potential outcomes of initiating a pursuit. Do they chase after
Literally what I was saying.
the driver, potentially escalating the dangerous behavior and pushing them to drive even more recklessly in an attempt to escape? Or do they
I just fell asleep for like 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, let yourself fall asleep. It's cool, you get me?
decide to hold back, allowing the suspect to get away in that moment?
Can't lie, after this video, I'll be going to sleep as well. Gotta be up nice and early.
But potentially preventing a high-speed collision that could kill someone. It's a split-second decision with life or death stakes, and officers are trained to prioritize public safety above all else. Sometimes the safest option is to not pursue. Now, let's get back into the minds of these swimmers and look at some of the specific tactics they use to stay ahead of the game.
Yeah,
Because-
I know you've fallen asleep before during my lives, bro. It's cool though.
It's not just about driving fast, it's about knowing the urban landscape and utilizing technology to their advantage. And most
I'm for real
importantly,
gonna get
the art of vanishing.
yeah.
One
Good
key
night, good
aspect
night.
is their route knowledge.
This way you come back like I'm in LA, you're like I'm back again magically. But yeah, good night.
These drivers often operate in specific areas they know intimately. They've likely scouted out shortcuts through residential access roads, pedestrian zones, which of course adds another layer of danger, or even construction sites. This allows them to quickly disappear from main roads and potentially lose any pursuing officers who aren't familiar
They're like ghosts for real. They're moving like ghosts out here.
with these alternative routes. It's almost like they've rehearsed their escape routes, knowing exactly where to turn and where the dead ends are. Beyond just knowing the roads, they also leverage technical aids.
Oh yeah, I see them stuff, it's mad. What's my favorite nut? Does coconut count? Yo, I seen them things. Them things are mad. They tell you where the police officers are. Even if it's like an undercover police car.
It's highly probable that many of these drivers use radar and LiDAR detectors. These devices can warn them in advance when law enforcement is using speed measuring equipment, giving them precious seconds to potentially slow down or alter their behavior before being clocked, or alternatively, speed off anyway. Apps like Waze have become
Yeah, I know about Waze. I know about
invaluable
Waze.
tools for these individuals. Waze relies on user-generated
Yeah, Waze is literally, it's like, oh my God, imagine having all of this and then, I don't know if coconut is a nut. I think counts as coconut just like a big nut. But like, I might be wrong, I don't know. Okay, now I actually have to search it up. Is coconut a nut? Wow. Wow. Okay. List of nuts. Yeah, list of nuts. I can't lie, I don't mind, you know what? I don't mind the chia nuts. Like, you know the small chia nuts? Like, you know the small chia nuts, you get me? Like the tiny ones. Like, I don't mind like mixing them in. Like, if I'm trying to like have a big protein, because I know there's a tiny bit of protein in them, so sometimes when I'm trying to not eat as much calories and still have, you get me? It helps with that in there, but
real-time traffic information, and that includes
pistachio is
reports
nice.
of police presence.
yeah, I can't lie. Waze is like a cheat code. You can like upload. Like, I'm not promoting this at all. Cause I don't promote this behavior. But like, I know from my friends that have it, like literally, if you see a police officer, you'll report it yourself. So like, you know, even hidden police aren't safe.
This means
Speed cameras, oh my God, everything.
swimmers can often get live updates on the locations of marked and unmarked patrol
Okay.
cars in their vicinity, allowing them to adjust their routes and avoid areas with a heavy police presence. It's a constant cat and mouse game, where technology plays
Bro, drifting in circles with the police officer is crazy.
a significant role on both sides. Another important part of how they operate is the prep work. They scope out the highways beforehand. You'll often have other drivers involved, acting like scouts. They're checking out the best spots for their swims. They look for stretches of road with seriously heavy traffic, so the video looks wild, with
Wow, so they look for the heavy traffic on purpose. Nah, that's actually crazy.
tons of lanes to weave through. And of course, they're also checking out where there might be fewer cops around or where it's easy to make a quick getaway. There's also other preparations, like always wearing masks, helmets, or suits to make it hard for cameras to identify them. And let's not forget the immediate aftermath, the actual vanishing act. Because once the swim session is over and the
Yeah, how do they just vanish like that? They do it so smoothly and effortlessly. It's like that literal, like I said before, it's like the actual ghost, bro.
cameras have stopped recording, what happens next? It's
Yo, come on, 2 Tyrants in the chat right now.
highly probable they have pre-planned staging areas or even safe houses where they can quickly switch vehicles.
Yeah, well, obviously the practice, but it's like, it's looking impressive.
Imagine
I think it's more impressive than actual driving.
pulling into a discreet garage or a less trafficked side street and hopping into a completely different car, instantly changing their profile. They might also have a change of clothes or even alter their appearance quickly to further throw off any potential witnesses or lingering law enforcement. This focus on the immediate escape and blending back into the urban fabric is crucial to their continued evasion. So, when you piece it all together, it becomes clear why catching these swimmers is such a monumental task for law enforcement. The combination of limited real-time surveillance capabilities, strict pursuit guidelines, the sheer volume of traffic, and the deliberate efforts of these drivers to remain anonymous and strategically
That was
plan their
close.
stunts creates a perfect storm of elusiveness. For the foreseeable future, it's likely this trend will continue,
Yo, what's that got to do with anything?
simply because the logistical hurdles for police to consistently stop it are so significant. However, it's important to remember that there's always an element of chance involved. Despite all their precautions, these individuals are still breaking the law in a very public way, and eventually, someone might just get unlucky. Take the case of the well-known swimmer, Squeeze Benz. While he managed to evade authorities for a significant period, he was eventually apprehended. Interestingly, his arrest wasn't the result of a dramatic high-speed chase. Instead, law enforcement was able to connect him to his online identity through a combination of factors, including his distinctive online presence and eventually a traffic stop for a less extreme violation. This allowed them to positively identify him and bring him in. It serves as a reminder that even with careful planning,
The thing is, he's out now though, because wasn't that like case? Like, don't come at me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the case that they couldn't prove that he was the one that actually filming the videos? Like they could prove that he was connected to the account, but you know, he could always use the defense. Oh, I was just uploading the videos. I didn't make them.
the risk of getting caught is always there, whether through a stroke of bad luck or persistent investigative work. But what do you think about all this? Is it just
I saw this video. Doesn't he somehow manage to like get out of this situation?
a matter of time before more of these drivers face the
I might be thinking of the wrong video.
consequences, or will they continue to outmaneuver the authorities? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe out there, and remember, the road is not a playground.
Yeah, the important lesson. Important lesson. I think I'm lost in peace. Nothing to be lost in now, bro. Nothing to be lost in. Yo, you know what? W message, W video from who's that? Car down. Why police can't stop swimmers? W video, I can't lie. And W message. Yo, anyways, that was a good video. I'm gonna cut straight to the outro because I ain't got too much to say to you guys. If you enjoy it though, yeah, it's W vid, bro. If you enjoy it though, drop a like, drop a sub. Anyways, Afusa. Peace out.